The pride of his homeland, a master of his craft, and the last remaining giant of his generation. Pacquiao started out the decade following one of his career best performances against Miguel Cotto, a night that saw him crowned the first ever 7-weight world champion in his move up to welterweight. Pacquiao signed the deal to make yet another sensational move up in weight, this time a 154-pound bout against ill-famed Mexican fighter Antonio Margarito. Now 8 world champion, Pacquiao entered 2011 with an air of invincibility. Next, in a night billed as the 25th round, the Filipino faced previous 2-time opponent Juan Manuel Marquez. 2012 sparked another dramatic trilogy, the first bout against Tim Desert Storm Bradley.
I was scared out of my mind. I had my goal in mind, but at the same time it was just like, how hard does he punch?
The decision went against Pacquiao in a controversial split decision. Came his second loss of the year, this time in dramatic and unquestionable fashion. A harrowing sight just before his 34th birthday echoed all the signals of a finished fighter. The Filipino overwhelmed Brandon Rios in China with speed and movement, convincingly ended Tim Bradley's undefeated record in their MGM rematch, and destroyed Chris Algieri at the back end of 2014, scoring a total of 6 knockdowns, which leads us to the big one. After 6 years of anticipation, billed as the fight of the century. On that, due to never-ending negotiations, became more aptly taglined, better late than never, enabling Mayweather to pick his shots, avoid any meaningful damage, and ride out a wide victory across all 3 cards. Disclosing an injured right shoulder and unsatisfied with the decision, Pacquiao remained insistent on his eventual rise towards another world title. Manny's journey restarted with a 3rd victory over Tim Bradley. 8 months on came that memorable night in Queensland, Australia. Boxing fans witnessed what would be considered amongst the worst decisions of the decade, and straight back in at the deep end. In mid to late 2018, Pacquiao took on another Hall of Famer in form of hard-hitting Lucas Matisse. He put away the Argentinian in the 7th, sending a shockwave throughout the boxing world. Which leads us to the last, but the pound-for-pound elite, beating 2 young, live, and hungry champions in Adrian Broner and Keith Thurman. Whereas Thurman dropped in the first, struggled to find his feet into the middle rounds, providing too little, too late. And so now, becoming a 4-time welterweight world champion and standing as the only fighter to have ever been a world champion for 4 successive decades, Manny Pacquiao holds unparalleled achievements in a movie-like roller coaster career, one that, for generations to come, will reflect humility, determination, perseverance, and endear the pride of an entire nation.